In this video, I'll show you how to use Notion to organize all of your teaching tasks, admin work, and deadlines all in one place. Between lesson prep, grading, meetings, and school events, teachers juggle a never-ending to-do list. When your to-do lists are scattered across sticky notes, emails, or different apps, it's easy to forget something or to lose track of what's most important. With a Notion Task Manager, you can see everything that needs to get done, group tasks by category or project, and track deadlines in one simple view. Let me walk you through how to get started using a Notion template that keeps your teaching workload organized and helps you stay on top of every single task. Okay, let's take a look at the Task Manager. So this template has two main sections. We have a project section and a task section. Let's first take a look at the project section. So the projects database is where you keep all of your big goals or pieces of work. So each project is like a container that holds all of the smaller tasks connected to it. So for example, you might have a project for organizing a new subject or planning a field trip. And inside each project, you can keep every task, deadline, and note in one place. So this is useful because it groups related tasks together. So you're not just jumping between random lists, trying to figure out what belongs where. So to get started, let's create a new project and see what this looks like. So we're going to click on this new page here. And this is going to generate a project template for us. We're going to give this a new title. Let's say prepare new lessons. And so let's say that this project is to help us prepare new lessons for a new semester. So let's take a look at this page template that was created. Every time you create a project using this template, it will create a projects template page. And on this project templates page, we have a few things. On the left, we have our standard navigation. This is linked throughout the entire template. Then on the right side here, we have a box for overview. This is where you can just briefly describe your project's purpose and objectives, just maybe to give you a little reminder of what this project is about. We also have an area where you can attach any files or resources or just helpful links for this project. If you don't need these, you can just select these and delete them here. Okay, below we have a database for tasks, and all of the tasks here will be linked to this project. And so for this example, prepare new lessons project, let's create some sample tasks. So to do this, we're in the All tab here, and we can click on New Page. Let's type in a new task. Let's say outline topics. That's our first task. Then our second task, maybe prepare materials. And then our third task, let's just say schedule lessons. Okay, now we can select a type for each of our tasks. This is to help differentiate what type of tasks we have. So for outline topics, maybe this could be brainstorm or research. Let's say brainstorm. Prepare materials. Maybe this is a writing task. And then schedule lessons. Maybe this is a to-do. Okay, great. And then we can give our tasks a due date. So we can do this one of two ways. We can select a due date just manually using the calendar. So maybe we could select next week, Monday. But what we can also do is we notice there is a calendar down here. And we can drag our tasks to the calendar and arrange our due dates this way. So let's view by month so we get more of a bird's eye view of our calendar. We can see that our outline task topic appears here. We can then take these tasks, select both of them, and then we can drag them all the way down onto the calendar and arrange them as so. So maybe we can drag this one here and this one here. There we go. We come back up to our task database here. Let's take a look at the final property. The final property we have is a checkbox, and this is a completion checkbox. Whenever we complete a task, we can hit the checkbox and it will be removed from view. It will move over to the completed tabs here. I think we have a duplicate there. And so we can see that we have our outline topics completed. It has also been removed from the calendar view as well. If we were to click on completed here for prepared materials, it will also be disappeared from view. This is just nice if you have many tasks for a given project and your calendar is getting a little crowded. It also feels good to kind of remove those tasks from view, feeling like you're slowly accomplishing all of the tasks in a project. Okay, if we come up to the top here, we can now see that our project's completion bar has gone up to 66.7%. Now, we don't really need to know how this formula is working, but it's just taking all of the tasks and finding the percent complete tasks. It's doing this by looking at all of the related tasks, which are our 3 tasks. We have 2 completed tasks and 1 task that is not completed for a total of 3 tasks. So that gives us 66.7%. Now, if we were to uncheck this, we can see that our completion goes back down to 0. And then as we complete these will also go up to 100%. One additional thing we can do with this projects page is we can add a due date for our project. And so we could also create a start date and an end date for this project. So you know within what time frame you want to complete all of the tasks within this project. So let's say it starts at the beginning of a week here. We'll click end date. Maybe by the end of the month, we want to prepare all these lessons. Now, if we come back to our main page or projects page, we see that our prepare new lessons has a due date. And now, because of this due date, we can now view our project on the calendar. So if you have a few projects, it's kind of nice to see when a project starts and ends and when you need to finish all of the tasks within this project. We can view the project by clicking on the calendar, and it will pull up our project here, which we can then full screen and see the project. Okay, let's now take a look at the tasks section. So on the tasks page, we will be able to see all of our tasks. So this means all of our tasks related to all of our projects. So in our tasks database here, we have 4 different tabs, generally sorted by date or completed. So this first tab is for today, and so we can see all of our tasks that are due today. We can also see tasks that are due this week, then all of our tasks, and then our completed tasks. So earlier we created 3 sample tasks for our project, and so we can see them here in our completed task. If we were to uncheck one of them, let's say outline topics, we can see now that this task appears here for this week because the due date is within this week. Below our tasks database, we also have a calendar view of all of our tasks. So we can view our tasks by week, and we can also view all of our tasks by month. Let's deselect some of these completed ones so we can see what this looks like a bit better. Here we go. We can now see our outline topics here due on the 18th, and then next week, our prepare materials and schedule lessons. If you click one of the completed checkboxes, they will disappear from view, and they will be put here into the completed tab. Now, we showed earlier that we could create a project and then create tasks within that project. But what if we just wanted a standalone task that was not related to any project? So we can just do this by clicking on one of these 3 tabs here, today, this week, or all. Let's click on the today tab, and we can click on new page. Then we can create our own standalone task. Maybe this could be write email. Maybe you need to write an email to your boss or to your friend or another colleague about something in particular. We can type in our task here. We can see that the due date was set to today. That's only because we are at the Today tab. If you don't want to set a task for today, you could also go to the All tab as well and just create a task on this tab. But if we come back to our write email, let's select the type, write, and then we don't have to select a project, and that's fine too. Another way we can create a task is by using the calendar. Generally, this is how I create most of my tasks, just because I'm more visual. So I like finding the specific day and then creating a task for that day immediately. So let's say we have a company meeting next week. We could find that date. Let's say it's on the 28th, and I can click on add an item. I can then type in the new task. Let's say company meeting. We'll give it a type for meeting. There we go. And then I can add in any notes I might have for this meeting. Maybe I received an email about the meeting. I could copy and paste all of the information into this page here. Now, one last thing we can do is we can create a recurring task. Let's say that we have a task that we need repeated every single week. So maybe you need to write an end of week memo to your coworkers, boss, or whatever. And so we want a task created every single Friday that reminds us to write an end of the week memo. And to do this, we can come up to the blue arrow here on either the calendar or the task database up here. Let's maybe click it here. We can click on this down arrow and we're going to duplicate this new task here. So we're going to duplicate this, click on duplicate, and we're going to type in, we're going to call it write memo. Okay, then we can select the type, maybe write. Give it a better icon. Let's say right. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's close that here. And now we'll come back to our blue arrow and we can see our new template has been created. Let's click on these three dots and we're going to click on repeat here. So we'll repeat every single weekday. We'll then say it every week, and we wanted this task to appear every single Friday. So it will remind us at the end of the week to write our end of week memo. So we'll deselect all of these and we'll only select midnight, 12 to 3 a.m. on Friday. Okay, that's good. So when we get to work on Friday, the task should have been created. Starting tomorrow, that's fine. And then make sure your time zone is correct. I have mine set to Seoul because I live in Korea currently. And then we can just click save. So what this will do is every single Friday, it will create a write memo task. Now, one thing actually we should do, let's go back to edit here. We need to make sure the due date shows up as Friday. And so to do that, let's click back on due date. We're going to click on today. So this says date when duplicated. Let's not forget that. That's pretty important. And so what that will do is when this reoccurring task happens, on Friday morning, this task will be created and it will set the due date to that day. So that will be the Friday. Okay, wonderful. And so that's how we can set up a reoccurring task using this task manager. If you would like a free version of the template I showed in this video, check the link in the description down below. But if you are looking for a complete all-in-one education management system inside Notion, then check out the Ultimate Teacher Planner, also in the description.